I'm comparing the 2022 version of Andrew Jacked from a Mr Olympia to the 2023 Arnold Classic version of Andrew Jacked. Who wins? You guys can let me know in the comments. What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and in this video, like I mentioned at the start, we're comparing the 2022 version of Andrew Jacked from that Mr Olympia on the left to the 2023 Arnold Classic version of Andrew Jacked. And before we get into this one, I want to encourage you guys, if you like and appreciate this content, give the video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you won't miss out on any of the content that goes up from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding, including all my episodes of Daily Bodybuilding News Live, which is going up literally 6 days a week minimum. And we've got a special announcement coming up as well with that Mr Olympia Masters. The competitor is going to be announced very, very soon after this video. So I'm going to go live and give all my views, opinions, who I think will win and do well in this contest, plus much more. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And we'll still have a separate Daily Bodybuilding News Live as well. So tons of content coming at you from Desktop Bodybuilding. So make sure you do subscribe. But let's get into this one. And we're going to go pose by pose. And I do want to mention before we get into it as well, Andrew Jacked 2022 version, in his individual routine, does not hit a front double bicep when he has perhaps maybe even the best front double bicep on the planet. So you can see it here from a 2022 Arnold Classic version, but you will not see the front double bicep from the 2022 Mr Olympia. So we can't judge which one was better there, but we do have the front lat spread, however. And one thing I want to point out on this pose as well, and I don't know if it was an injury issue, if it was a posing issue, or what it was, but Andrew Jacked was struggling to pop open his right lat on that front lat spread at least, and we'll see what it looks like from the back as well. So on this one, I mean, the conditioning, the legs definitely better in the 2023 Arnold Classic version, absolutely. The abs definitely look better as well. Where he falls down a little bit compared to the 2022 Mr Olympia version, which is on the left, is he's definitely not as full in the upper body. You can see it through the shoulders, the arms. The chest is very comparable, and the chest looks, I think, much better being striated the way it is in the 2023 Arnold Classic version. But the fullness in the upper body is a clear difference. So I've tried to scale these correctly, but perhaps I've got the 2023 Arnold Classic version a little bit smaller on the screen just here. But I'd say on that one, I would narrowly give it to the 2023 Arnold Classic version. Now, as we go into the side chest, then this is what I found really interesting. Upper body wise, a lot fuller in the 2022 Mr Olympia version, but definitely not as crisp, definitely not as hard, but there is a clear difference in fullness there. In the legs, however, they look way better in the 2023 Arnold Classic. You can see the separation between the hamstring and the quad, and it's not just that. I don't know if he's just sitting on it more sideways, sitting on it better, or what it is, but they actually sort of look bigger as well. And I noticed that in the actual front lat spread. So whatever he's doing for his legs with Chris Psycho Lewis was definitely working. But on the side chest, I'd say that one is a win for the 2023 Arnold Classic. Had it not been for the legs though, I may have actually had the 2022 Mr Olympia version winning. Now, as we head into this back double bicep, so you can see there's a clear conditioning difference. The tie-ins are much more clear, defined in the legs, especially the hamstring, the glute, the outer quad, as you can see there. So dramatically better from the waist down. In the upper body, it's that fullness issue again, but the arms actually look pretty damn impressive and don't look as stringy as perhaps they do in the front double bicep. And I don't want to say stringy, really. It's not stringy. It's just the fact that I think he has the best front double bicep on the planet, bar none. And at the 2022 Mr Olympia, it was just much fuller and it just looked much more complete. And at the 2023 Arnold Classic, that's where a little bit of a weakness in his physique was. But I think he's going to correct that at the Olympia. I think he's going to come in fuller, he's going to come in better, and we're going to see a much improved version of Andrew Jacked in terms of fullness. And if he can do that, I mean, some people had Andrew Jacked beating Samson Dowder, and people are considering Samson Dowder a threat to win the Mr Olympia in 2023. So with that said, if Andrew Jacked can come in, 5 pounds bigger, 6 pounds bigger, same conditioning as that 2023 Arnold Classic, better posing as well, because he did improve his posing from the 2022 Olympia to the 2023 Arnold. This dude could potentially win the Mr Olympia. Now, do I think 5 to 6 pounds would be enough to get that title? I probably don't. I probably think it's more like an 8 to 10 pound thing. that he'd have to do to actually win that title. And that sounds harsh, but he's got a big physique. So 8 pounds on him compared to like 8 pounds on a guy who's like 5'5", it's a bit different, but on his physique as well with the small waist, it will still go a long way. But he needs that same level or close to that same level of conditioning. But let me know what you think on that back double bicep. Now, as we move into this rear lat spread, you can see that clear definition difference when he actually pulls the arms back. And that's what I think a lot of people noticed, and that got a lot of people's attention at the Arnold Classic, and it really showed up his conditioning. But you can see the fullness of a pop isn't there quite as much in the upper body as the 2022 version, but he is posing that rear lat spread a lot better as well. So it does look overall definitely better than it looked at the 2022 Mr Olympia. Now, as they head into their side, or as he heads into his side tricep, because there's not multiple Andrew Jacks here. Now, at the 2023 Arnold Classic, I don't know what he was doing in terms of the posing, but he actually posed this better upper body wise at the 2022 Mr Olympia. Legs wise, much better at the Arnold Classic. So this one for me is somewhat close, but I'll give it to the 2023 Arnold Classic, but not by a huge margin because he isn't posing it the best. When he turns to the front though, you can see he is sliced and diced, and that's where you can see the clear conditioning difference. I loved his stage presence too, taking out a little photo over camera. And on the ab pose, that's where you can see a massive difference. Those abs are carved from stone. This is, I believe, the best ab and thigh on the planet. Bar none, I don't think anyone touches this pose because the abs just sit so perfect. It's like you couldn't design them better than that. Sean Roden obviously had a phenomenal ab and thigh, but his abs just weren't like Andrew Jack's. So this is, if not the best in the planet right now, it is potentially the best ab and thigh of all time. And that's a huge call, but when you look at it, it's pretty phenomenal. And the cuts in the outer quad is just another bit of polish that you get to see. Now, on the most muscular, the one hand on hips and the hands on hips, he was sort of just going between them at the 2023 Arnold Classic. And one thing I didn't like is when he hit the crab most muscular, he put his hands way forward, which made his arms actually look a lot skinnier than they are. Now, I believe if he actually pulled his hands much closer to his body, pulled his elbows forward a bit more, not all the way, and pull that pose in a little closer, I think it'd look much more filled out. We'd be able to see the conditioning in the quad, in the chest, in the arms, and I don't think it would look as sort of drawn out. The pose to me just looked overall a little bit awkward. So we'll say the most muscular is a 50-50, but to me, it is a clear win for the 2023 Arnold Classic version of Andrew Jack. And I think most people would come to that assumption, but if Andrew Jack can bring that upper body fullness that he had at the 2022 Olympia, with maybe even a little bit more in the back and a few other regions, plus the conditioning of the 2023 Arnold Classic and maybe slightly improved legs on top of the 2022 and 2023 versions of Andrew Jack, we have a potential Mr Olympia winner. And people are sort of forgetting because we've got Samson, Derek Lunsford, Hardy Chupin, Brandon Curry, Big Ramy. There are so many names up there now with Mr Olympia. Sorry, I don't want to miss anyone. Nick Walker, there's tons more as well. Hunter Labrada, you got all the dudes. So there is so many names going into the 2023 Mr Olympia that can potentially win it. And I want to do a video as well, maybe 10 guys that can win the 2023 Mr Olympia. And I'm sure I'd still offend a few people outside of that as well. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Who did you have, the 2022 Mr Olympia version of Andrew Jack or the 2023 Arnold Classic version of Andrew Jack? And like I said at the start of the video, give the video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up for myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. This is Desktop Bodybuilding. I'm Xavier Wills, and we are out.